Hi, good evening. This is Kene Ochabuto, and we are still on CHATROOM. CHATROOM. We have been having several discussions on film productions. We have been having different talks, and different comments have been coming in, and we've been reading and trying to see how to solve some of these problems, right? There's something very, very important I'd like us to discuss today, and that is the use of Foley.
Slow down, Jesus.
Why are Foleys very important? Why do we have to use them? And why are we not using them in our Nollywood film production system? You see, right from the process of learning film, I have come to understand that sound happens to be the life of film. Music is a life of film. A film has head and nose. The sound is the kidney. The sound is the soul. The sound is the heart. That is why when you make a film and you don't have a sound on it, it looks like there's no life in it. But by the time you put sound on it, you begin to feel some sense of life coming into your footage, coming into your shot. So sounds are very, very important. So while we are going to describe sounds in different categories, we have dialogue, we have sounds that comes from your dialogue. We have music, which is also part of sounds that we use in making film. And then we have what we call Foleys. Today we are going to be having our discussion on Foleys. Foleys are those sounds, those diegetic sounds that replaces your actions. For instance, you somebody that somebody for instance somebody knocks on the door, right? So you knock at the door, and it's possible that the mic did not record that knock, the sound of that knock. You could actually record an external knock and place it in place of that knock. That sound you hear, is called a Foley. Sometimes you see that in a film where somebody is running and you are hearing the footstep. Naturally, when you are running, you might not hear that footstep naturally like that loud. But in film, you get to hear those footsteps. So those footsteps you hear when somebody is running in a film is called Foleys. So those external sounds they put to boost a sound is what we call Foleys, right? So the question now is, what are the importance of Foleys in film? Like I said, Foleys is one of the lifeline of a film production. Trust me, any film that does not have Foleys will look like a food without salt. Yes, I said so. Food without salt. Because Foley gives life. Foley gives life. Now, have you seen scenarios where people are on the dining eating, and then as they are eating, you can hear the spoon and the fork go on the plate, and you're hearing the glitches and all of that. Those sounds you hear, those sounds of those properties are called Foleys, and they are very, 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 very important because they help you to give life to your scene. Imagine that those things are not in your film. It goes so flat. When you are hearing your dialogues, you're not hearing any of those Foleys. It goes so flat. But Foleys are very, very important. So I always like it when people take time to make brandish their film. But these things are not difficult. They are not. I know they are not. They are not rocket science. If you want your film to sound well, if you want to make a film, I've been in situations where I've made films, and then because of poor sound, the whole thing looks like a child's play. If you can record something, you at least capture something. Every image is that most of the images you see are not so fantastic, but what makes them so fantastic is the sound that accompanies it, the Foleys that accompanies it. Foleys, as much as it is very, 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 very important, we tend not to look towards that direction. Is it that we don't have an idea what it is? Is it that we don't know about it, or we know we don't like to use it, or we don't take time to put these things in our movies, especially in Nollywood? So the question is, I want to ask why we don't explore the services of Foley artists, or we don't like to put Foleys in our movies while we are making them. And then if you haven't been doing that, I may ask that you give it a try and see what your film turns out to be. When you see a movie and it looks so nice, and then go and look at it, it was properly, the sound was properly done, having the soundtrack, the Foleys, and everything put together. So the question is, I want to know why we don't use Foleys basically in our Nigerian film, and why we don't often use it, in our story processes. Please, if you have a reason why that's happening in our Nollywood film, and please, I'd like us to discuss that in the comment section, and then probably chat a way forward on how best to reach out to people on this matter and see how we can probably begin to put some of these little things into our film and see if our films are going to have a change in narrative. All right, I'll be expecting to hear and see what we have to say concerning Foleys in film. Thank you.